It's another Where Are They Now segment here in the PACWEST. I'm Ryan Waters, and this is Stephanie Galitzine, a former Camosun Charger. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. So far, so good. The title is Where Are They Now? Where are you now? We haven't seen you for the last few years in a Charger uniform, but where are you now?
Yeah, so as of the past 8 days, I currently live in Whistler. But prior to that, I was living in Victoria.
Why the move to Whistler from Victoria?
Just because I wanted to. I wanted to live in a ski town kind of my whole life. And I'm kind of in a unique circumstance where I have a job based out of Vancouver, but because of COVID, we're virtual. And so I'm able to work from anywhere. So I kind of took this opportunity. I'm riding the silver lines of this world pandemic. And so made the move.
How have you survived through the pandemic? How have you been keeping, especially your mental health? A lot of people are, stuck at home, not doing much. How have you coped?
Yeah, definitely there's been ways. A lot of the way I've approached it is just having a lot of gratitude for what I do have and the people in my life, whether we're staying connected because we're in the same household or more FaceTime, more Zoom. But it's definitely been hard, and especially missing playing sport now that I'm more of a recreational athlete, but missing that and not realizing how much fun, like how much joy I got out of that until it was really fully taken away. So it's definitely been interesting, and I've learned a lot through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that you're out of Camosun, what are you doing now? What is your job that's based in Vancouver but allows you to live in Whistler?
Yeah, so I work as an exercise therapist for Inspire Health Supportive Cancer Care Center. So we're a nonprofit that offers services from physicians, clinical counselors, registered dietitians, and exercise therapists. And all of our services are free of charge to people to access our services. Yeah.
So that, I guess you can work remotely in a field like that. You're not physically working on someone or meeting them face to face. You can do something like this.
Yeah, so I'm on like probably 4 or 5 Zoom calls a day. So seeing people one-on-one, which is really wonderful, and then also teaching classes. And it's pretty amazing. We've had up to 90 people in an exercise class online, which before we never would have been able to serve, and more people that live rurally as well. And so that's another advantage that we've seen with COVID is going into this digital world and honestly being able to support so many more people. And moving forward, we've discussed as an organization that we'll continue to offer online as well as in person too.
You might as well, right? If it's working.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been pretty amazing to see, and people are so grateful for it. So yeah, it's incredible.
Is it easier, I guess, for people now that need your services to be able to connect with you online and be part of a class that's 90? I guess it's a lot easier for these folks, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially depending on where people are at. So we provide services to anyone that has been affected by cancer. So whether they're going directly through treatment right now or if they went through treatment 20, 30 years ago. So especially for those people that might be in the middle of their chemotherapy treatment and experiencing a lot of severe fatigue, it's such a huge advantage that we can access via Zoom rather than sometimes just making that drive into the center. It can be really, really exhausting.
Do they know that you're a collegiate PACWEST volleyball player?
I think there's a couple I've mentioned it to. It's really nice. I've developed some great connections, and so some of them know. Yeah.
So you said earlier you miss it. It must be you're still relatively new from leaving Camosun to where you are now. You must still get that urge to be on a weekend. Hey, we should be playing this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Like just as you're saying, and I'm like, oh, I wish tomorrow I was playing. But yeah, in Victoria, we don't really have much of a beach volleyball community, but there's like a tight knit group of maybe 8 to 12 of us women that would get together and play 2, 3, 4 times a week in the summer and through sometimes even into November. And so I've definitely been able to fill my void in that way. And we're all like ex-college players, and so I'm hoping also eventually when I'm in Vancouver, once we do reopen for my job, to enter the beach volleyball playing world there.
So how do you stay in shape now?
Yeah. Well, luckily I'm a trainer, so I have a lot of really great access to gyms. So
Totally.
here in Whistler, I'm working at Peak Training, and so we're a training and movement studio here, which is really, really amazing. They have such a beautiful space, and so it's nice because I get access to these places.
Yeah.
And then I'm recently, as of 3 days ago, become a snowboarder.
Okay. Are you
Yeah.
good?
Um, well, yeah, let's go with that. Let's just go with that.
Can you get down the hill without falling? Maybe.
Yes, I can actually
Okay.
today.
In my book, that means you're good. So
Okay,
congratulations.
thank you.
Take me through that process of leaving Camosun, or at least not being able to play anymore. And you got an opportunity to be part of the coaching staff on the Chargers. Was that tough though? I mean, you go from playing with your friends to now coaching your friends. Mentally, that must be a bit of a turn or switch in your mind.
Yeah, it was for sure. A lot. I had to place a lot of trust in that I made the right decision, and coming off of a back injury and deciding to move on and then continue as a strength and conditioning coach. And so it was so hard, and I saw that a lot in so many of my friends that played college, and as they graduate, or maybe it's an injury that puts them out, that's such a hard transition because it's such a massive component of your life. Like, you're playing 6 days a week for
Yeah.
6 months of the year. It's everything. And so it's hard to transition away, and staying connected to the community a little bit, I think really helped me, rather than just like a cold hard stop. Like, I'm not playing anymore. I'm not involved. So coaching helped, as well as I think there's a lot of benefit to having other hobbies while you're also playing your sport. So you have other things to go to, rather than sometimes if you're all in, it can be really hard to now feel like you have nothing.
Would coaching be in your future? Can you see yourself? Maybe not Camosun, maybe Camosun, but could you coach? Do you think? Could you get back in it that way?
Yeah, I kind of noticed recently I was already like, oh, Whistler Secondary School, do they have volleyball? I can for sure see myself coaching. I love being involved in the athletic world. If it were ever at the college level, I'd want to be a strength and conditioning coach, and then maybe a little bit of kind of assistant help would be really cool. But yeah, and a lot of girls that I played with or were before me at Camosun have gotten into coaching, and it's pretty cool to see. They're so good at it too,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Yeah.
So what are you doing now? I mean, you're in Whistler. You just moved there. You have the job there. Are you biding time until the office opens again once COVID's over in Vancouver? Is that pretty much what it is?
That's pretty much it. We've said the earliest we might open is the spring, but it could be summer, it could be fall. There's so much uncertainty in the world right now. And I was really lucky to secure a place of living that is on a month-to-month basis, given that they understand my situation. Eventually I need to be in Vancouver, but I don't know when. So I'm pretty much just waiting it out, but very happily waiting it out here. Not a bad place to be.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
don't turn into a ski bum, okay? So go to Whistler.
No, honestly, like, there's this kind of like word around that you catch the bug in Whistler, and then you come here and you never leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I caught the bug.
You just got there.
I know. I got it quick.
Wow. Well, listen, thanks for your time. Stay healthy there in Whistler, and good to catch up with you. And hopefully you'll be in Vancouver in the spring, not up at the mountain when there's no snow anymore.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been so great. And I'm excited to kind of see what other athletes you've been talking to and see where others are at.
We're just getting going here.
Amazing.